it was about, because I believed in what, CT was and what Jeezy was doing. I messed with it. It was, that was, the music I was vibing to, and I wanted to add to it. But you know what I mean? It was just a lot of like, I started seeing the fake and the empty promises and all of that stuff, and I just didn't want to be around that no more. You know what I mean? And it's a whole lot. It's a book worth of stuff that I can go into in them 2 years that I was, that I saw, things that I saw, things that'll make make you look at your favorite rapper in a different way. You know what I mean? It will. You know what I mean? And I tell guys all the time, like, man, it's tough. And during that time I was telling my homies, they asked me about them, and I'm like, man, it's tough meeting your heroes sometimes and kicking it with them, because when they take that cape off, boy, oh boy, you know what I mean? Under that cape, it's sometimes it's some scary little boy hiding under that cape. You know what I mean? And you don't know that until you hang around a guy and see how he treat his homies and see how he move. You know what I mean? Like people coming at my head about this, but it's like, yo, man, like every time I go somewhere, every time I do an interview, I got to talk about him.
Right.
He don't got to deal with that. He can go on and do his world thing and reset and move on and not, act like the Freddie Gibbs thing never happened. I don't got that luxury. Every time I sit down with you, first thing you want to talk about is that. When I go sit down with somebody else, first thing they want to talk about is him. So I'm going to make it so every time he go sit down, he got to talk about me.
Right.
He going to have to say something.
Right.
You ain't got no choice.
Right.
And even if whatever you say going to be fraud anyway, because it don't matter. You can't trump nothing. You can't trump my street card, my credibility. You can't test that at all. So I'm not worried about that. You know what I mean? Musically, I mean, yeah, I respect what you done musically, but anything I say is gonna be law.
Because you sent the tweet this morning, and I had to read it twice because I read it once. I was like, what?
What I say?
And then I read it again. You just said you've been getting threats on Twitter, Twitter threats.
Correct.
And at first, when you hear threats, I was like, yo, is he getting death threats? And then I had to read it again. I was like, oh, wait, no.
Death threats. Death threats.
Like,
it's a lot of people. I mean, hey, man, I know it hurt you to hear your favorite rappers a fraud. It ain't my fault.
Right.
I mean, something you've been buying into for the last 10 years. I know it breaks your heart, but I got to break it to you.